Hi, howdy. Welcome to the wow, the 25th
25th.
25th of these that we've done. I don't have anything special planned for the 25th. Um, Other than we are still doing the let's prep for the Halloween party and see what kinds of things we might want or not want to do. And so there's a drink that I've done for all the previous Halloween parties that I found probably like 3 years ago on one of the web pages. And so we're going to do one of those this evening, see what people's reactions are. It has the nice feature of using some ingredients that I don't tend to go through a lot on the Tiki bar. And that is going to be the Ghost Flower, or the Ghost Orchid. So we're actually going to make a drink using, I know, vodka, but, you know, it's Halloween, and I do happen to have this bottle of vodka. Yeah, it's black, I know. It's Blavod vodka. As far as I can tell, it's just, it's basically vodka that's been tinted black. It's still grain alcohol vodka fused with natural black CATECHU, extracted from the bark of the acacia tree in Southeast Asia. So it's a clean-tasting vodka, uniquely dark and exquisitely smooth. Yeah, okay, it's vodka, it's black. That's why we're using it, because we're going to do a tiki drink that uses vodka. There are a few of them. The Chi-Chi is one that most people have probably heard of.
I thought maybe we had a 25-year-old rum.
We're going to do that. Star is checking to see if we have a 25-year-old rum. We do not have a 25-year-old rum.
Got a 21.
We have a 21? Oh, we do have a 21. We could do that. I have a better idea, though. I think today has been kind of a day, and what I want is something that's got a little oomph to it. So there's a St. Lucia rum that we picked up from S&R Liquors. Because the boys over there they bought a cask and they bottled it, or had it bottled for them. And this is a mighty fine rum from St. Lucia. And I may have to go over to the rum cabinet and find it. It's certainly going to be back behind some things, but we will probably, once we get around to that, once it is found, we will try that. There will be a couple of other scary things that we will do. Here, I'm primarily working on flavors for the cocktails for Halloween, and not so much necessarily on the presentation, because, well, the presentation, because the way we're thinking about doing the Halloween party this year, it's kind of going to be up to individuals to do their own presentation, because they're going to be coming and getting the cocktail from us, that one. And so, you know, there's not a lot I can do with presentation other than put a few things in the care package for them to help them along with the presentation. But we'll be mixing them up here and showing what you can do with presentation, that sort of thing. It turns out that I'm not actually wearing a mic, which means that we are probably not hearing me. Which is okay, because I think there's only like 2 or 3 people on, right? So you're going, where is Pooch? Why do I not hear Pooch? Well, it's because, as I said earlier, it's been a day. I
have my mic. He's going to disappear and put his mic on. Go to the lower level of the bar. We can still see your hat. Oh, okay.
Oh, I got to get the gate open.
Oh, okay. The gate to
down, back, demons, back. No, that's my soul.
What
you can't have
Spot?
It. Spot?
Is that the Munsters or Addams family?
Oh man, I don't remember. I think that was Munsters. Wasn't he like a flaming dragon or something?
Yeah, I think so.
That's right. All right.
So.
Close the gate.
Your eyesight's better than mine. Okay. I think Dana commented.
Back, demons down. Down, down, down. Stay, bad demons.
Why don't you have the sword back here? I know, you don't want to hurt them.
I don't want to hurt them. They're sometimes nice and useful. You can sick them on people and give them diseases like COVID. You didn't hear that. Complete and utter deniability. Where's our cat anyway? I don't know. Speaking of demons. Anywho, okay.
Dana,
so I now have the mic. Hear you fine. She's probably referring to my wife because you can always hear my wife. Yeah. So we want.
Hey Dana, did you dye your hair?
Star dyed hers.
I know. Dana commented online and said she was getting the same.
So, Hamilton, distilled in 2005, barrel number 420. Yes, all of this comes from one barrel. 420, cask aged for 9 years. This guy's a little hefty. He is 66.7% alcohol, which that's a warm alcohol.
Yeah, I saw the cat.
When we had this in the store,
it was smooth.
It was so smooth. Although it was highly embarrassing for me because we were talking about.
Here they are getting the good stuff and letting them have a drink.
Right. And we're chatting about wine and beverages and spirits and all that sort of thing. And I go to take a sip, and at that point, one of the guys behind the counter who's trying to put something up on the counter, things slip off the counter, and he goes to catch them, and there's this banging and crashing of glass, and he saved everything. But I, of course, being very surprised by this, inhaled greatly, just as I was taking a sip of 66.7% alcohol. And so here's this, oh, yeah, I've had great rums before, and now I take a sip of this and I'm like, they're like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, it's not the rum, it's inhaling the rum that is problematic. I thought I heard the cat.
You did.
I did. Oh, okay, he's back
here. This is me. I got a bunch of change. I was
that's change.
Cleaning things. I was cleaning off surfaces, so I have a pocket full of change.
Today is not going to be one of our more polished sessions, let's just say. So, here, have some overproof rum. Cilantro.
To Vinny at SNR.
To Vinny at SNR. To Christine, who is home.
Yay, Christine!
Is finally home.
I don't think she's on yet, but...
it doesn't look like it, because we got 4 people on. I don't know. Had to wait, need to lighten. It's a whole process I didn't realize.
Yeah, having gray hair made it easier. Hi, Ann Carey.
Oh. See?
Oh, that's yummy.
See? I mean, really high-proof rum, and not a problem. It's so smooth. This is so amazingly smooth for the proof that it's at. And it's very limited edition. There's not very many bottles of this left because it all came out of one barrel. Thank you, the guys at SNR. You're awesome. We love you. Thanks for giving us a chance both to taste this and to bring a bottle home for ourselves because, wow, good stuff. We've had it for probably a year at this point.
Yeah.
And, we break it out on sort of special occasions when we need something with a little oomph to it. And number 25, that seems like a perfectly reasonable time to break that out. Okay, so 3 cocktails, potentials for the Halloween party. The first that we're going to do is the Ghost Flower, or the Ghost Orchid. And I'm going to need my wife to go to the back room to get me an orchid.
Okay.
And that's in the upper crisper, so you can find that. Yeah. This is a drink that uses some strange ingredients. For Tiki, it uses Saint Germain, and it uses creme de violette. You usually see creme de violette most often in aviations, where in just very small amounts it gives a very nice sort of sky blue color. I know, it looks purple, but in with the cocktail, it changes it to a bluish color. It's really, really pretty. There's some orgeat that goes in that, and then a quote-unquote silver rum. And for that silver rum, we are going to be using the Plantation 3-Star. Because this is a very clean drink. I mean, these additions aren't going to muck it up too much with flavor. So you want to have a clean rum that isn't going to overpower them. You could use, and for coloration purposes, to get the visibility on the drink right, you do want a clear rum. You don't want to use a dark rum for this drink. It's still going to be a little murky because we're going to put the orgeat in it, and the orgeat is completely different viscosity. But this is a drink that Star loves, and not just because it ends up in flames, because, well, it does. This is one of those drinks where we may have to turn out some of the lights so that you can see it, because it is kind of really pretty when it gets going. So let's start with this. We need to put this in a shaker. So here is bottom piece of shaker, top piece of shaker goes here. And how are we going to do this? We are going to start with, what is it, half ounce? Half ounce of the orgeat. Why are we starting with the orgeat? Because the orgeat is viscous, and the half ounce is not going to come entirely into the glass when we put it into our jigger, and so we're going to clean out the jigger using other things that are more acidic, and we'll clean that out for us. So 1/2 ounce of orgeat, or orgeat, orgeat, O-R-G-E-A-T.
There was a guy we watched.
How to Drink.
How to Drink video, YouTube.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I really like the guy who does How to Drink. He's got a nice sense of humor. He's definitely a pro about what he does and how he does it. His production values are amazing and awesome. And he did a drink based upon one of my favorite movies, which is Big Trouble in Little China, a drink called the Six Demon Bag. And I was going to try and do a variation of the Six Demon Bag, but yeah, no, we're going to hold off on that and do that at some later time, I think. All right, so there is our 1/2 ounce of orgeat. There is some lime juice in this, so we need, what is it, 1/2 ounce? No, full ounce of lime juice. So I'm going to do that. Full ounce lime juice. Because we want this guy to be a little on the tart side. Actually, we want it balanced is what we want. We're hoping that this all works out. Big Trouble in Little China is just awesome. It is. Creme de Violet. Hon, stick your nose in that. I know you love it. 1/2 ounce creme de violet. Yeah, you can tell, again, we're being kind of casual about this. I don't have my speed pours in for everything. All right, so there's a 1/2 ounce. Doesn't really look purple. It almost looks a little more blackish gray when it goes in, but it really does. It's just necessary for the coloration here. You got me the orchid. We need the Saint Germain. So Saint Germain, Elderflower Liqours. This stuff, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe even 5, was like every bartender's best friend. Drinks were popping up left and right with Elderflower Liqours in them. And that has kind of calmed down some, which is good because this stuff can be, it's a little perfumey and can take over a drink pretty easily. And much like the sriracha craze that occurred, it was just everywhere. And I was, you know, it's nice to have a little of a good thing, but not like everything. Not everything has to have Elderflower Liqours in it. And thankfully, we seem to have gotten past that. So, so that's good. We're no longer in the everything happens to have Elderflower Liqours in it. All right, so let's see. We got the creme de violet. We got the Saint Germain. We got the lime. We got the orgeat. I think, what were we down to? We're down to just the rum. Is that right? No. Oh my gosh. 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice, which would probably be the reason why my wife loves this so much. You make the most god-awful cocktail in the world and put an ample amount of pineapple juice in it. And
I like pineapple juice.
My wife will love you forever. Okay, so 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice. And then it's, I think, if I remember right, it is 2 ounces of rum. I will double check before pouring this in there. Yes, 2 ounces. And again, it says 2 ounces silver rum. You're like, Pooch, where are you getting this recipe from? So, strangely enough, this is a crossover between my interests and my wife's interest. So the website is, what is it? Oh So Beautiful Paper?
Oh, so Beautiful I love Paper? That place.
Yeah. So all sorts of crafty things, right? Mostly scrapbooking, different types of paper, that sort of thing. But apparently, every once in a while, they post cocktails. And they posted this one, and wow, does that not look appetizing when it's poured in here? But it will. It will. I promise. It will. It'll look awesome. So we're going to lid this up with some ice. We're going to shake the daylights out of it, and then we're going to pour it into a coupe. And if my lovely assistant can you sneak into the back room and get me a frozen coupe?
Yes.
Out of the freezer, where I would keep frozen coupes, because that's where you keep frozen coupes, is in the freezer. So
lovely assistant.
I'm going to toss some crushed ice in that. Most of this is going to be cubed ice. There we go. So I do want this cold. We are going to strain it, so we're not going to worry too much about the kind of ice that's here. All right. Coupe.
Why, look, it's a frozen coupe glass.
Frozen coupe. All right. All littered up. Shake away. Nice and cold. You can run a thumb along there and see that it just frosts right immediately over. That is way cold. That's what we're looking for. We need a strainer. Lack of this one. So frozen coupe. Frozen coupe. This goes right in there. All frothy and yummy. Right. I don't want to fill it up too much. So the other thing is you take one of these lime halves that you have just hollowed out, and that just sits right in there. And that's all well and good. That's nifty. But to really do the ghost flower appropriately, what you want is some flame. And here I happen to have a lot of flame coming at you.
After you make this one, I'm going to have you change mics with me.
All right, Star wants me to change mics, but first, it must in.
Fuego!
Fuego! Right there, can we do that? Yeah. Can you see? You see the flames? You probably can't see the flames. There we go. There's some flames. How about if I move this over here from the darkness? So there's a light, pale blue flame. Wow, I'm going to spill this drink all over the place. But I am not going to spill the flaming rum, because that would be bad. Now, so this is a nice flame. You can't really see. I probably can't see.
I turned the lights all back on.
But it is a very cool effect, especially when the lights are all dim and nifty. The one complaint I have had about this cocktail, however, is, well, but I want to drink it now, and you keep telling me no. And it's like, yeah, do not drink this while this is burning. Okay, there is a way that you can do this. Let's see. Long straws you can do.
Ah!
But even still, I'd be really careful, because those are flames, and while they're hard to see, oh god, that's good. Oh man, that is tasty. You're going to want that.
I am. I'll wait till the flame's out.
You're going to wait till the flame's out? Oh, I can just scoot this over here. So the Ghost Orchid by Oh So Beautiful Paper, 2015. Oh, right. I like to go ahead and just stick the orchid hanging off the side here like that. There you go. And then put a straw in that. And you can also do this as a large volume cocktail. We've done it before in Tiki mugs. But you don't get the sort of milky, ghostly effect of the cocktail because you can't see it in a Tiki mug. So using a glass mug, something glass, to show it off is really nice. But I mean, it's not incredibly sweet. It's kind of tart. There, you can see the flames, right? Eventually the orchid will burn. We don't want that. So light, refreshing. The rum comes through. Be careful with that.
The flame went out.
Okay, the flame has gone out. Now, if you really, really wanted to and you wanted to be expensive with this, you could do lemon extract in the lime half, and that will burn much higher and much brighter. But lemon extract is a little expensive to do for something where you're doing an awful lot of that. Now, Star wants me to swap mics, so we're going to do a hot mic swipe in the middle of this broadcast. So yeah. We're going to just do this. Oh, 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 ah. There we go. Oh, sorry about that, people. Probably smacked you in the ear with that light tap against the wall. Technical difficulties. Not so much difficulties as we don't know what the heck we're doing. How's that? So I'm just going to snap this here rather than go under the shirt and do that sort of thing. You may notice I'm not wearing the cocktail apron that I had on last week, and there's a very good reason for that. That cocktail apron is hanging right there, and I forgot to put it on. That's why. So, yeah. Like I said, it's
so been hopefully they can hear you better now.
So it's been a day, and it's fine, but it's been a day. My wife has run off with a lovely Ghost Orchid cocktail, which is quite tasty and quite yummy. Now, the secret to doing Ghost Orchid cocktails or Ghost Flower cocktails for your wife is that when you put them into a coupe, yeah, there's more left over. So there we go. I'm going to do just that, and look, comes right up to the, not quite up to the wash line for a second coupe glass. Yeah, she's got the frozen coupe. I don't.
Oh, that's good.
That is so delightful. Slightly sweet, very tart, and the flowery of the elderberry comes through, or the elderflower. The orgeat is not overwhelming in that, but there's definitely an undercurrent of almond through that. So for all of you nut lovers, this would be good. For all of you allergic to almonds, this would be really, really bad. So we'll try to avoid that in the future. So that's one. That's drink one. We like this drink so much that I think this is just sort of in permanent rotation. All of the ingredients here are things that we have on the home bar. And so I'm pretty sure that whether you come by for, around Halloween or whether we're serving this for Halloween or not, my best guess is that this drink will be available to you should you ever decide to stop by the home of Pooch's Tiki Bar, Lovecraft Cocktails, Star and Pooch, Serious Drinkin'. All of these things refer to the same establishment. Someday we're going to be more consistent about that, but not tonight. Tasty, good, yummy stuff. All right. Next up. So next up is I need to make use of my Blavad vodka. So we're going to go with a tiki drink that is vodka based. But for Halloween, we want to do something different with the drink. And when I was hunting around at various tiki drinks and finding this one on Jeff Beachbum Berry's very own tiki app, which I got to say is amazing. Several hundred different tiki recipes on that with short little bits about their history behind the drinks that he's talking about, pictures of the drinks. You put in all the ingredients that you have in your home bar, and it tells you what cocktails you can make with it. And it tells you what you could make if you just had this one other ingredient. So then you go out and you buy that ingredient and it adds 20 more cocktails that you can make. And then there's, well, but if you add this one more ingredient, then you can do these other 20 cocktails. And pretty soon you're doing stuff like standing up at 7:30 every Sunday evening and broadcasting to all your friends about making tiki drinks. So be warned, it's a great app. It's addictive. So the drink we're going to do is completely and inappropriately named for this year, because the drink is called the best year. Yeah, this has not been the best year. So one of two options. We could keep the base recipe, just do it the same way it's always been done, and put the best in quotes. Yeah, because this drink is the best year, right? We could do that. Or we could just be straight up honest with you, which I think is a better policy, and just call it the worst year. So we're going to make a couple of little changes to it. We're going to call it the worst year. We're going to go with that. All right? Sound like a plan? Good. Hope it sounds like a plan, because that's what we're doing, and you're stuck watching me make this drink. So there we go. All right, so the worst year. The worst year is a blended drink. So we're going to go with a blender tin. You can make this at home if you don't have a spindle blender. In fact, the base recipe requires a normal home blender. So you can use a normal home blender. I'm going to use a spindle blender. I like the spindle blender and what it does to cocktail viscosity, mouthfeel, etc. better than doing it in a home blender. But it is going to be blended for like 30 seconds, which is just ridiculously long for blending drinks. So you are forewarned. For 30 seconds or so, there's going to be spindle blender and my back turned to you. All right. So what goes into this drink? This drink is pretty straightforward. In terms of tiki drinks, there's nothing really particularly weird about it. We start 3 ounces pineapple juice. So you already know I'm not drinking this drink. Star's drinking this drink. Not because I don't like pineapple juice, but because my wife really likes pineapple juice. So 2 and 3 ounces. You can see 3 ounces of pineapple juice. That might be befitting the best year. Pineapple's a sign of hospitality, having friends over. That could make for a really good year. Next up, 3/4 of an ounce of this wonderfully herbaceous and slightly spicy, citrusy liqueur called Quarantiki or Liquor 43.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Nate, bartender over at
Vermilion
in Old Town Alexandria.
Also, AKA the Jolly Bartender.
Yeah, that's right. He is the Jolly Bartender online. I noticed this bottle sitting on, not this particular bottle, I noticed a bottle that looked remarkably like this sitting on his back bar and said, "What's that? I never had that before. What do you do with that?" And he said, "Stop using a stupid accent, and here, let me pour you some of that." And I have had some on my bar ever since, because this is yummy stuff. How to describe this? I mean, it's just citrusy, botanically, it's just good. It's really good on ice cream, too. So let's go. 3/4 of an ounce of Quarantiki. Right, there you go. 3/4 of an ounce. Now, full disclosure, I have not had this cocktail before. But I mean, come on, pineapple and Quarantiki or Liquor 43, you know, how bad could that possibly be? Well, I don't know, because now we go to evil, right? Because, well, Curacao isn't such a bad thing. But blue Curacao, blue Curacao is just slightly sweeter Curacao. It's sweet Curacao that is vibrantly blue colored. And so the drink itself comes out vibrantly blue when you're doing the best year. But of course, we're not doing the best year, so we're going to do something else. We're going to do the worst year. But in any case, this is, what, how much? 3/4 of an ounce of the blue Curacao.
I'm going to make another mic adjustment.
We are not going to be putting any syrup in this, because the blue Curacao is just simply going to be sweet. So we're not going to worry about it. Please be patient with us on the sound quality. Last week we were playing around with mics and we thought we got it down. And so this week we just did it kind of on the fly and didn't bother to check anything ahead of time. And so, yeah, it's maybe not the smoothest in the world, but we'll get through it. You, me, and my wife. Yes, we'll get through it. And somewhere there's a cat. He'll put in an appearance. Probably knock things over. I need another sip. Yep. Oh, right. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the evil theme. For those of you that have been watching for a while, you will have noted that I am not kind to Rose's grenadine. But I have mentioned on occasion that there is a product that Roses makes that, by all rights, you just can't substitute out. And that is this. And I feel embarrassed that I went out and bought this, but, you know, you just... Rose's sweetened lime juice. Now, this also used to be known as Rose's lime cordial, and it just has a very distinctive sweet, limey flavor. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep a small bottle on hand because there's just a few Tiki drinks, and they all say that, say, nope, you got to use lime cordial, and Rose's has just got that distinctive flavor profile, so use Rose's. So, I've now cracked open my bottle of Rose's sweetened lime juice. I feel a little dirty, but we're going to do it anyway. What do we got here? This is 3/4 of an ounce of that as well. So this is going to add some sweetness, but it's also going to add some tartness. So this is still hopefully not a particularly sweet drink. We'll see. And the pineapple juice is kind of sweet as well. Trust me on this? I don't know if you should, because like I said, I haven't tried this drink. We'll see what it is. Now, the last ingredient here is the vodka. And if you were using any normal vodka, you would end up seeing this come out in a vibrant, vibrant blue color. So here, let me pour this. See, I mean, this is almost a sea blue, sea green, vibrant color. You mix that with some ice. Right? But we're not doing that. Nope, because we're going to use the Blavod. We're going to use black vodka. Dun, dun, dun. Blavod black vodka. 2 1/4 ounce of black vodka. So we're going to go with the 1/4 ounce first. I'm going to change the color of this in an unpredictable way, I might add. I don't know what this color is going to look like. Black, I guess. Looks like the Blavod is beating the living daylights out of the rest of this cocktail. All right, there we go. There's the Blavod. You saw what beautiful color that was previously, and now I will show you what that color looks like now. Dirty dishwater. Yeah, there you go. Nope, that looks pretty black. I mean, it's kind of purplish, a little blue. But yeah, still smells good. So, I got high hopes. Maybe this thing isn't horrible, but it's going to live up to its name, the worst year. I have high hopes that that'll happen. All right. So what are we going to do with this? We're going to shove about 8 ounces of ice in here. So I'm going to use this in order to help me with what 8 ounces of crushed ice looks like. That's close. As per Martin Kate, we're going to throw some chunks of ice in that, so-called agitator cubes. And then this is going to go in there. We are not going to lid that up. That is not what we're doing with this. This is then going to go in the blender for 30 seconds. 30. All right. So I need my wife to give me a 30-second countdown. So here we go. 30 seconds. Wow. All right. Now it gets frothy because we've got the pineapple juice in it, right? But we want to see this, so we're going to put this in a Pilsner glass because you want to see what ugly, ugly color this is. Because unless it's an ugly color, it doesn't deserve the name The Worst Year. And so, I think this is appropriate. We take a beautifully blue drink and we transform it into something that looks kind of like this. Yeah. Funk. Swamp water? So there you go. This would be The Worst Year. Now, it's really foamy. Really, really foamy. And so I might need to pack that down a little bit.
Not sure what to do here. I don't want to fill this up with any more ice. I'm going to stick a straw in here and see what this tastes like. Oh, Star's going to do that.
The straw goes in there.
Oh, a tentacle in there. Yes, that does look kind of gruesome, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Straw Thulu.
Straw Thulu.
Surfside Sips.
Surfside Sips. See? Straw Thulu. Looks like a little tentacle. It's got the suckers on it. Isn't that just a blue whale? I don't know. Wow, the Blavod not tasting entirely of vodka, that has a little something to it, changes the flavor of this a little bit. Wow. I think I actually want some lime juice in that. I think I want that to be a little tartar.
There's a lot of pineapple in that.
There is, yeah. And that's probably why it's foaming so much.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the foam sitting up there.
Yum.
There's a lot of that in there. Here, what if we strain some of this in there? Keep back some of the foam by straining. Yeah, we could do that. Fill that up. Oh, you know, if you really wanted to be gross and disgusting, you know, you could have this. You got foam up at the top, and then you strap on the strainer, and then you start pouring in. What's going to happen is the foam is going to start coming up over the edge of the glass. There you go. Look at this. Look.
And that's why we have bar mats.
But that's what you want to do, right? I mean, that's
yeah.
Yep. That's proper level of disgusting. And look, you can start to see the black coming through in the green. Yeah. The worst year. I present you the worst year. There you go.
Okay.
We could even maybe like sprinkle some, I don't know, some. What do you want to do on that? Like some bitters or something across the top of that. Just some reddish and brownish.
Yeah.
We've got some here. What is this? This is the spice bitters. You could do that. They're kind of brownish.
For your mix.
Do this. Yeah, see, that's not going to show up very well.
No, it's not. That's plenty.
Yep. Oh, that adds a nice aromatic note to that. Oh, that is truly bog water-esque. I'm loving that. As man, I would totally serve that at a haunted tiki party with the foam coming over the top of that. No dry ice in that. You just get pouring in, foam comes over the edge. It looks like some bizarro experiment that somebody has done. Yeah, I could go with that. I think that God, that is bizarre looking.
Well, and as the ice kind of chills or separates, you get more and more of the black.
Yeah, the black starts to come through. It's very Creature of the Black Lagoon-esque. You know, it starts out green and then it fades to this blackish color. So there you go. That's got to be in the running. Because as a bonus, this guy uses up 2 1/4 ounces of Blavod vodka. Blavod vodka. Enjoy its smooth taste served neat over ice or with your favorite mixer. Or apparently in a drink that's normally known as the best year that we have now christened the worst year. Because, yeah, why not? Sounds good. So if you like vodka and you're going to be partaking of our haunted tiki party, this may be the drink for you. Yeah. I'm assuming you guys have home blenders and can just blend that up. I'll send you the ingredients. You can make the drink yourself. Oh, wait, there's a little bit left in here. Oh, boy. So I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to go like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to say, I was in such a foul mood when I started doing this broadcast, and I was really afraid. I was afraid I would be dropping F-bombs left and right, and that things would just get ugly, and I was just going to quit in the middle and go, nobody's watching, nobody cares, because that's kind of the mood I was in.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this, and I hope you're having fun with this. So apparently, it's a good thing for me to do. It's better for my mood if I do these.
Show how the black is taking over.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, I mean, it's this greenish, foamy thing. Oh yeah, the colors on that really work. And as I said at the beginning, I was not going to be working on presentation, but apparently I am because that worked out really nicely. So I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, that's really nice. So Andrea says, "Isn't that just a blue whale?" I don't know because I don't know what all is in a blue whale. So you might check and find out for me and see if that is in fact what is in a blue whale. It is not what's in a marlin, which is slightly different. And it doesn't taste awful. I still think it probably would be better with rum than vodka, but I don't have a black. Well, no, it's not true. I have black rums that might do the same thing. I don't know. Nah, we'll stick with the Blavod and we'll use that. The Blavod is also really good for doing things like what is it? I think it's called a widow's kiss, like a black widow's kiss, which is basically some thickened Blavod. Where you take grenadine and you run the grenadine around the inside of the glass. And so what you can do is you put ice in it, pour the Blavod over that, and what it's got is just this inky black drink with this tinge of red running around the inside of the glass. It looks very kind of bloody and black and icky and very Halloweenish. And we like Halloween around here. And since we're not really getting a Thanksgiving, because we can't go visit all of our friends for Thanksgiving, our friends and family of choice. So Halloween's going to be our holiday. So there we go. I'm going to finish my Ghost Orchid. Oh, I completely forgot. So the best year, the drink the best year, was in fact the best year for the bartender that created it. And you'll have to excuse me. I got to look up his name. His name is Bobby Batugo? 1975. He won the United States Bartenders Guild National Championship with that drink. Obviously not using Blavod, but actually using a vodka of some quality for that. Blended drink. And more even amazingly than that was the fourth time in 7 years that he had won the USBG cocktail championship with homemade original creations. And he was operating out of a bar called Tips Bar in Valencia, California. And how do I know this? Because this information is all provided in a footnote for that drink in Beachbum Berry's Total Tiki app. So there you go. So if you look at Beachbum Berry's Total Tiki app, you look up the best year, it'll have this little blurb about Bobby down at the bottom and talking about his 7 years where he won 4 times the best USBG cocktail, that's damn impressive. It's still vodka though. Yeah. So last drink. We're going to do 2 versions of this drink because the first version is a drink that Star loves, and then I'm going to do horrible things to it that is going to make her not want to drink it. So I'm going to have to make a standard version of the bee's knees, and then I'm going to riff off of the bee's knees and do something in honor of 2020 that I'm going to call the Murder Hornet. Because, the Murder Hornets came out earlier in the year, and everybody was like, what else? The Murder Hornets, And then the Murder Hornets really turned out to be not a big deal. Although I've seen pictures of these suckers, and hornets this big. I'm like, whoa, nasty suckers. Anyway, so we're going to do a bee's knees, and then we're going to do a Murder Hornet. Now, ordinarily with the bee's knees, it calls for a dry gin. And while I like the bee's knees with a dry gin, I also like it with a botanical gin, as long as it's not too overpowering, because then you get some flowery elements in that bee's knees, which is perfectly reasonable and okay. And Star is pointing out that we have a bottle of botanically infused rum, Bachman's rum, that we could do. Do you want me to do a bee's knees with the Bachman rum, my dear wife?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
I have no idea what that'll taste like.
It'll be interesting. So we're going to do 2 cocktails. We are going to do one that is a bee's knees that is made with Bachman's Botanical Rum, and that's RHUM. This is a rum agricole that has been infused with botanicals in the same way that you would infuse gin with juniper and various other botanicals like Genetian and that sort of thing. Wow, I spilled water all over here. That's not good. Gonna have to get underneath that. All right. Blah, 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 things we'll have to do afterwards. All right, so the bee's knees is a relatively simple cocktail. It is on the USBG and the World Bartenders Association, WBA, I think that's right, of their classic cocktails. The bee's knees is just honey syrup, lemon juice, and gin. That's all that's in it. And it's shaken, strained. Double strain is probably appropriate here. Again, into a coupe glass. Could do this into a frozen coupe, but we're just not going to. Because I've made my wife get up and down way too many times already. So I need to rinse out one of these. Wow. Yes, she did make honey syrup today, which was a big new thing for her, was to make the honey syrup. So, you know, that's kind of cool. Learning new tricks of the trade. Not sure how I feel about that. It's one thing for me to like explain to her how to make orgeat, because I know gosh darn well she's never going to do that. And making the orgeat is just like, wow, it's a thing that Pooch does. Woo! But when I tell her how to do something like honey syrup, it kind of takes the magic out of it, because it's like, well, shoot, that's easy. There's nothing special about doing that. So yeah, there's that. What I'm going to do is, it's the other thing. If you don't keep coupe glasses in the freezer, but you want them cold, you can always just grab a couple of coupe glasses, fill them up with some crushed ice while you're building your cocktails. And that way, those glasses will get cold. Simple as that. They don't hold the coldness quite as well as a glass that has been sitting in the freezer. If you really want it like icy, icy cold, like you want to do a stone cold martini, then, you know, martini glasses shoved in the freezer, bring them out, dump ice in them, let them sit while you're building your martini, while you're stirring your martini. No shaken martinis, stirred the martini, and just pour it into that ice cold glass. It's just awesome. But we're not making a martini, we're making the bee's knees, and then we're making a Murder Hornet. All right, so the bee's knees. We're going to start with the honey syrup, which I know is out here because I put it out here, right here. It's even in a honey container. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, it's a honey container. So making your own honey syrup. So again, you want the honey flavor, hence the bee portion of this, but you don't want to have the trouble of pouring honey into a cocktail and then trying to mix it, because the honey will hit the ice and it will seize up and become hard, or at least kind of hard, and it will not mix in. But if you take some warm water in equal volume to your honey and mix those two together, stirring them over low or medium heat, you will wind up with a substance that has an appropriate viscosity for mixing in with cocktails. And that is what we have here, is some honey syrup. You can also play around with different kinds of honey, and the more aggressive the honey flavor, like if you use buckwheat honey, buckwheat has a really pronounced, buckwheat honey has a really pronounced flavor, and it will come through. I'm not a big fan of buckwheat honey and its flavor. I prefer things like key lime honey. Key lime honey. You really want that drink to be tart, key lime honey will do it. All right, 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup. Squeeze bottle, squeeze bottle. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. 3/4 of an ounce honey syrup. I'm guessing that this is not a particularly, I think this is just like wildflower honey. I don't think there's anything particularly special about the honey that went in here. But only my honey could tell you, because she's the one that made it.
Clover honey.
Clover. Yep, sort of standard U.S. regulation honey. So lemon goes into the bee's knees. Lemon is yellow. Bees are yellow-ish. So you get the honey, you get the lemon, the yellow color. 3/4 of an ounce. So equal portions of your sweet and your sour. There we go. There's the sour. There's the fresh lemon juice. And then 2 ounces of your gin. And again, ordinarily, we would be using dry gin for this. Instead, because my wife wants it, we are going to use Bachman's Botanical Rum. So we're going to give this a shot. And, you know, if she decides that this is not to her liking, well then we can blame her. All right, so there's 2 ounces of the Bachman's. Now, gin traditionally is a very clear liquor. It's clear spirit. You can tell that this had a little bit of color to it. So the coloration is going to be slightly off on the bee's knees, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to throw some ice in here. Just cubed ice. Once again, we're dealing with different viscosities, different mouthfeels, different densities of liquid. And so as a consequence, we are going to shake this, not stir it. So we'll lid this up, like so. Once again, there you go. You can see that frosting over as I run my finger over it. Nice and cold. We are going to double strain this into a coupe that is nice and cold. So there you go. Toss the ice. There you go. Cold coupe. Double strain. What is double straining? Double straining means I'm going to use a Hawthorne strainer, and then I'm going to pour that through something like a tea strainer, like this guy. So here we go. Here is a bee's knees. That almost to the wash line, and then we're going to garnish that with a little bit of a desiccated lime wheel. And these are easy to make. You just, when you have leftover lime or lemon slices, you just stick them in your dehydrator. And if you don't have a dehydrator, there's a fantastic Alton Brown episode from the original Good Eats show that tells you how to make a dehydrator out of some box fans. So, you know, there's always that. You can always do that. So there we go. We have a bee's knees right there.
Would this be like a sugar bee since it's rum?
I don't know. I have no idea what this is going to be like. So I'm going to taste it and we're going to see.
So dehydrators are very trendy. Thus, you can get them at garage sales a lot because people go, oh, I'll dehydrate things. And then they go, no, that's too much work.
Or they do it for a little bit and then they don't. Wow, that's very honey-esque. Honey. I get honey off of that. I don't get the botanicals coming through like I do with the gin.
That's yummy.
But you like it.
I like it.
Yeah. I think it needs to be just
It's not a bee's knees, but
it needs to be a little tartar, and I think the gin is just a cleaner spirit. Right.
So you know, we got to experiment.
Right. And so there you go. 3/4 of an ounce lemon juice, 3/4 of an ounce honey syrup, 2 ounces of some sort of spirit. In the case of the formal bee's knees, that's going to be a London dry gin. But that's not what we're doing now. We're going to make a Murder Hornet.
Bar Hill gin makes a great bee's.
Yeah, so Bar Hill is a honey-based gin, I guess. And as a consequence, I'm not sure how that works out. There's honey somewhere is in that Bar Hill construction. And as a consequence, it just works really, really well with the honey syrup and makes a fantastic bee's knees. I really, really like that. Bar Hill gin-based bee's knees. Bee's knees, not so much. So what are we going to do? We are going to go 3/4 of an ounce of lemon, 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup. So here is our 3/4 of an ounce. Shoot over a little bit. Love bar mats because I can squirt stuff all over the place and then I can just throw the bar mats in the dishwasher. It's all good, especially really sticky things like honey syrup. Lemon. Fresh lemon juice, squeezed this afternoon. Not squeezed, actually juiced by my sweetie. If you're going to do large quantities of cocktails, it just behooves you to get a good juicer. It does. My wife, if she was forced to do all of this by hand, would instead force me to do it by hand. And that would be bad. We don't want to do that. All right, so we're going to actually do, we're going to do gin. We are going to do gin. And you're going to ask me, so what the heck makes this different from a bee's knees? Just you wait, because we're going to add some things here. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, and I want the other things I'm going to add more to the flavor profile. Besides, I know people that really dislike Gordon's gin as a London dry gin. It is, as some of our friends put it, I don't like gin because I don't like brushing my teeth with a pine cone. And that's what gin reminds them of. Well, Gordon's is kind of the prototypical gin for reminding you of that you are brushing your teeth with a pine cone. It was also the first gin I ever tried, and I didn't go back to gin for a long time. Thank you, Dad, for having Gordon's gin on the bar and being gone for at least one evening when I decided to investigate the bar. All right, so that would be a bee's knees, but we're not going to leave it there. So what's better? I mean, honey goes really well with ginger, right? Yeah, everyone pretty much agree. So then if we're talking an homage to 2020, then hella bitters, ginger bitters, seems like a good thing to do. There's some heat to these bitters. So we're going to go 2 dashes of the hella bitters. Go 1, 2, make it 3 dashes of the bitters. So you got honey, lemon, ginger. So right now, that just sounds like something that would be lovely for curing a sore throat. Ha! But it's a murder hornet, and therefore we're going to be nasty. So this will hurt you. I got to be careful with this. Need like a little cap or something I can put this in. All right, well, we'll just use this. We'll pour a little of this in here. So this is an olive oil. Yeah, I know. You're like, what? What are you doing with an olive oil? Which is going to add a strange element of to the viscosity of this drink. But here's the deal. It's not just any olive oil. So it's an infused olive oil. It is a citrus-infused olive oil, but not just citrus. Oh, no, no, no. This is from Olio, a tasting room that does infused olive oils and aged balsamics. And I bought this because I thought, oh, this would be a nice thing to just add a little punch to various things. This is their citrus habanero olive oil. This stuff, I like hot food. This stuff is, I mean, it's not crazy hot, but it's hot enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 drops. That's it. We go
have a Ruth,
1,
a David,
2,
and a Cully.
3. There we go. 3 drops of the habanero citrus olive oil to a bee's knees, where we've already added hella bitters ginger to this. Star is like screaming right now, like, why would you ever do this to a bee's knees? I'll tell you why. Because it's not a bee's knees, it's a murder hornet, and it's perfectly in line with how I feel about 2020. So ice goes in there. We're gonna shake this thing up, right? Yep, do that. Look at that, fits all nice. I should have done it in the smaller one, but you know how things are, so we're not doing that. All right, here we go. We're gonna go. You might have noticed, so when I'm using the plastic containers with the shaker, that my throw is longer. That's because there's more space. This is a shorter throw, And as a consequence, my shaking is shorter. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that goes in there. And then we're going to strain this. We're going to double strain this. And we're just going to use the strainer that we had from the Bee's Knees.
I'm staying away from that.
The Bachman's Bee's Knees. Star is going to stay away from this. You notice the color is different? We don't have the brown from the Bachman's. This is much cleaner color. See, and if this isn't, if the habanero doesn't come through, then I would probably add some drops of the habanero olive oil to this. But we'll see. See what this does. First of all, we're going to stick a nose in it. Okay, the citrus and ginger come through, but it's still super cold, so we're not getting a lot of aromatics off of it. We're going to take a taste. That is not murdery enough. I think my wife could sip that and not have a problem. She should. She should. You should sip this. There's nothing here that is going to cause you any pain. I promise. But there will be there's a slight sting at the back.
That did not kill me.
It didn't even hurt, did it?
I took the tiniest.
I know. Which probably means I didn't add enough of the
Murder Hornet sauce.
The Murder Hornet sauce. I wonder if what we do. Oh. See, this is great because the oil, just when it hits the top of the icy cold liquid,
it just dots up.
It just dots. So there's now what, 6 little dots there?
Yeah,
7 little dots just right there. Oh, I gotta see. So if I do that, nope. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. It just moves the dot. I can move the dots around on the top of the drink. Oh, that's kind of bizarre.
Oh, that is odd.
Playing with chemistry. Woohoo! Now I'm going to take a sip of this. And if I get one of those, this is going to be dangerous because if you get one of those dots, it's going to be like, boom, ow. So we'll see what this tastes like. So. Oh yeah, there's a little Hornety goodness there. Oh yeah. That's not hot, but you can tell there's the sting of the habanero in the back. Yeah, that's a Murder Hornet. So. So we're not going to do 3 drops of Murder Hornet juice, i.e. the oleo citrus habanero olive oil. Oh, no. We're doing 10 drops in this thing. Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of fond of that. That is not going to... So you get the sense of the habanero, but you do not get that just clawed down your throat, burning feeling. Sometimes I have had infusions. I've had cocktails that have had hot pepper infusions in them. And while they're really nice for getting that hot pepper feel to it, often the capsaicin has just been really, really overpowering. And, I've woken up the next day and just had sore throat, not because I was drinking so much, but because of the capsaicin on the throat. This isn't going to do that. But this is a very different drink from the Bee's Knees. The wife won't go near it. And she probably shouldn't at this point, but I'm kind of liking this one. I could even be really nasty and grab some Tabasco sauce and put a Tabasco sauce drop on like the olive oil drops, which would be really gorgeous. But I don't have any way of like getting that to people and making them do that. Although I guess you could add your own Tabasco to it, as you wanted, whatever.
Brooke suggests hot honey.
Hot honey would work. Yes, you could do that. I would be afraid of getting the hot honey and the honey mixed up with one another. But talking about the hot honey, just take some honey and mix it with that oleo infused olive oil. that would just be awesome. You'd dip like chicken wings in that. Oh yeah, or biscuits. Oh yeah, that would be quite tasty. Maybe a dash or two of like some Chipotle Tabasco would be just that would be pretty awesome. There's the Murder Hornet. I'm pretty proud of the Murder Hornet actually. This is that works. That works. And oh, he's almost a honeycombish pattern to it. No, whatever. It's tasty. It's got some heat to it. The ginger is lovely with the lemon. I wonder what this would be like with a botanical gin, although I think that might be just one flavor too many for it. So we'll see, because I'll play around. And it has one of those other great advantages. This is one of those cocktails that I know if I make for myself, my wife won't drink it. So there you go. I get to drink it all. All right. There we go. Oh, oh, you catch one of those dots of the olive oil, and oh, that's yummy. Which is a good thing because I'm struggling a little bit to figure out what to do with my citrus habanero olive oil, because yeah, you don't want to use it as salad dressing. Oh, gads, no. But this is pretty fun. It's a pretty fun little cocktail. It's got a bite. It's got a sting to it. Here we go. There's the 25th. My God, a quarter of a century? No, quarter of 100 episodes. That's pretty impressive. And apparently it's good for my mood because I'm in a much better mood than when I started this. So salute to you all. Have a good evening. And I don't know, happy Halloween. It's coming. It's getting there. I know a lot of people that are really looking forward to Halloween and have been since, well, frankly, last Halloween. So good night.